All right, so on a 221, to do a brake flush, super easy. What I like to do is always connect your trickle charger just to make sure that the battery, you don't kill the battery as you're opening and closing the door. Lights are on inside, possibly. You're going to want to put a little bit of O-ring lubricant on where the drain tube will be that connects to the caliper. I'll show you in a second, to the caliper nipple, because it's going to have a tough time going on. Here's your actual brake fluid machine. You're going to want to be no more than about 15 psi of pressure. I don't know why they have the blue going up all the way to 38 psi it looks like, but you don't want to go over 15, because I have seen when people go over 20 psi, 25 psi, if there's a blockage somewhere or something, you could potentially blow the seals on your master. The next thing is we're going to use 5.1, which is compatible with .4. For this particular application, you can use either .4 or .5.1. Just make sure to use either ATE or Motul or liquid moly or something of a high quality brake fluid. None of that cheap stuff that you can get at the auto parts store. I wouldn't recommend it, at least. I'm going to go through 3 of these, which is a little bit of overkill. You can get away with 2, but I like to use 3 just to get all the old fluid out. Next, you're going to want to remove as much of the old fluid as possible. As you can see, I've already started to remove some of the old fluid, and you could just simply suck it out of there. You're going to remove this little filter, but be careful when you remove this not to drop anything in there. And that's it. And I'll show you on the bottom side how to use the 11mm to drain the fluid out. They do provide a 90-degree angle adapter if you prefer, and then they also have this little tool to tighten your fill. So when you fill it, you can tighten it. As you can see, 1.5 liters is just over half, which is going to be plenty for what we're doing here. And then all you do is you take this quick connect. There's a little seal inside, and all you're going to do is just connect it to the, can you see? There we go. Just pull back, push down, and you're connected. And that's it. Just pump this up to 15 psi, and after that you can go on the bottom, start at the rear passenger, then you're going to do the rear driver side, then you're going to do the front passenger, and then the front driver side. So as you can see, starting from the rear passenger caliper, you're going to take a 11mm to break open that bleed screw, and slowly, you'll see, very, very slowly, this bottle starts to fill up. So as you can see, the old brake fluid is slowly filling up this bottle. Essentially, you got to divide this into 4, right? So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. So once it gets to about here, we're going to close that bleed screw and transition over to the other side. And as you can see, we're right at about 18 psi, I would say. You don't really want to go over that. I wouldn't recommend it. By the way, I wanted to show you guys these epic little, they're called Wera Joker wrenches, and it's nice because it can actually lock in. You can lock in right there, the teeth, and then you can just undo the bolt, and then the other end is ratcheting. Super nice. It was like 18 bucks for one of these, 20 bucks. So a full set won't be cheap, but they're so much nicer, and they're light. They're super lightweight. So we are done with the back part, the rear. This is about how much I took out. So there's about half a bottle left in here for the front. And then make sure you replace these little rubber caps. I see it time and time again when people don't replace these caps, and then when you take them off, you get no fluid coming out because there's a little ballpoint deal inside there that gets clogged up with road debris, just because people fail to take the time and actually put this little rubber cap back. By the way, check out that massive AMG rear diff heat sink. Pretty epic. So we are, as you could see, we're now draining the front passenger side on these 4-pad front calipers. There's only one bleed screw at the top, and as you can see, I'm actually doing this on the ground, but just make sure to not lose that little bleed screw. And all I did, guys, was I literally just used little jacks, not to lift the car all the way, but just enough so I can crawl underneath and get that out of there, or release the tension rather. Not get that out of there, it's funny. So right now we have about, I'd say a little more than a liter, maybe a little less, and we only have that much room in the bottle. So I'm gonna drain this back and then take these to an auto parts store, anywhere where they can recycle used oil, and then I could fill this up the whole way. And then the way you release pressure after you're done, before disconnecting that, go ahead and just press right here, and you'll see it drop. To 0. Okay, and now you can go ahead and disconnect your hose here. Okay, make sure that's clean. Everything here is going to go inside a plastic bag and then inside the box to prevent any kind of contamination from happening in the future. And then you can unscrew your adapter. This is an adapter for Amazon adapter. As you could see, I did keep, just in case, the little filter in there, just to prevent any kind of debris from getting in, because I didn't know, since this was a new machine, if there's any small debris in there.